tonight's vote. Boris got his passports, his COVID passports, through Parliament, but he had to rely on votes from the opposition because 99 Conservative MPs voted against the bill. And this reminds me of Theresa May's Brexit bill all over again when she lost the support of her own party and had to rely on Labour to get it through. And interestingly, it's many of the same people all over again. Steve Baker, Graham Brady, Andrew Ridgeon, the 1922 committee. And it takes a tremendous amount of courage to go against the leadership. It really does, not least because it's often career suicide. But once again, these people are standing up for what they believe is right. They're framed in the media as swivel-eyed loons, although, by the way, Lord Feldman, to whom that phrase is attributed, never actually said it. But they are, in my view, heroes. We should be grateful for the opposition that they're providing to this government, that they're standing up for less government, less state and greater freedom. And so too should Boris be grateful for them, because without them, he would not be PM. And how has he repaid his debt to them? By turning his back on them. Charlatan that he is, and joining the blob. So, tonight's vote, what do we think? I could see you frowning.
What is this monologue? Where does this come from? How do you get to do that? We want to do that.
The presenter.
We want to do this monologue of our personal views.
Rather than break down the format of the show, Rona, what do we think about the issue?
Well, I don't think there's any heroes in here. I think that there's also a lot of Richie Sunak supporters in here as well, because I think that you're right about the point you made earlier, and there's other stuff going on about it. Sadly, I'm afraid most of the people in this government, indeed many governments, are not there because they are, compassionate individuals who want to be in public service to improve society. There are other reasons, and we are dealing with a bunch of Caligulas as usual in this current situation. And I think that the dirt that was dished on Boris...
So would you have voted for the bill or against it?
I think there's other stuff going on, obviously, isn't there, in the Conservative Party with the leadership.
Yeah. How would you have voted?
I would have voted... Well, this is what's very difficult, is reading the list.
You're even more wriggly than a politician, Rona.
Well, often there is no clear black and white. The problem is there's lots of grey areas with all the things we're dealing with.
Exactly. How would you have voted?
I would have voted for... Yeah, I think it's okay to have I don't want vaccine passports. That's too far. Absolutely.
OK, so you would have voted against?
I would have against that, but I think some of the measures were pretty reasonable.
I didn't think they were voting about vaccine passports.
No.
I mean, there was a particular one, 100 MPs, around 100 MPs, mutinied over the passes for large venues. Now, I'm going to the Arsenal game tomorrow at the Emirates. They basically sent us an email saying you have to either be vaccinated or have a negative test. I don't have a problem with that for large venues, because I think that seems like a sensible option. Sure, I'm not forcing... Yeah, I'm not forcing... I'm not saying people should be forced to have the vaccine, but have a negative test, because if you don't, you're more likely to spread the virus, according to most scientists, it seems to me. So I would have voted...
But if we want this lightweight Omicron variant to spread, then that would go against that.
Well, that's assuming that it is a lightweight Omicron variant. We don't know. So I think this is a sensible option. Amazingly, I can't believe I'm even saying this, I would have voted with Boris Johnson.
I know. But when you read the list, it's terrifying,
I'm with Corbyn, folks, on this one.
I know.
That must be just as weird for you as well.
And I love Jeremy Corbyn.
Also,
he's an old-school left-wing libertarian.
Also, someone like Caroline Lucas. I'm sorry, but Caroline Lucas never does a thing wrong. Ever.
Right.
OK, she's perfect.
Right.
Right, she's perfect.
OK.
But then when you look...
I'll let you have
I'll tell you who the biggest problem is.
Yeah.
Peter Bone and Bridgen. I cannot
You do feel that way?
Yeah.
Look, he looks like, honestly, the Matt Goering, the guy that created The Simpsons, he's like a cartoon. Bone. He's a sinister
man. You can't judge him on what he looks like.
I can, actually, because his unbearable views and personality and deep-rooted emotional fears and ignorance are exuding from his body.
I found another one. Sir Geoffrey Clifton Brown. I mean, I don't even know who this guy is, but how in touch is he with the modern... I know that Keir Starmer's...
People with names like Clifton Brown, you should... Like a requisition to be Prime Minister be to have a double-barrelled surname.
As well.
We're to make this country great again. We need double-barrelled surnames.
But it is interesting that most of these...
Bone, Bridgen, Leadsom, out, leave.
But like
Make your way to the F-off enclosure.
OK, on that note,